Now, in the next set of questions, A, B, C went to a market with money 30, 40, and 50, not necessarily in the same order. They together bought three articles P, Q, and R. The ratio in which A, B, and C contributed money to buy P was 1:1:2, and the same ratio for Q and R was 2:3:1 and 2:1:2 respectively. It is known that the money with 3 was spent on buying all the three articles. So the total amount they spent on buying the article was 30 plus 40 plus 50, that is 120, and the total amount they had initially is 30 plus 40 plus 50 as 120. So now let's talk about A's contribution in buying in payment. So let's say if A has the A money with him, in the first part he has spent one fourth of the amount that he has to spend at P. So let's assume the cost for P was P and the amount that is spent by A was P by 4. Now if we talk about Q, A has spent 2 by 6 part of the amount, so it will be P by 3, Q by 3 effectively, Q by 3 that he has spent for Q, and plus 2 by 5 of R that he has spent for that A has spent. So that is A's share for buying these things. So A's value will turn out to be P by 4 plus Q by 3 plus 2R by 5. Now let's talk about B's shares. So B has spent again 1 by 4, so on P by 4. So the value that B has spent is P by 4 on the first article. For the second article, the B has spent Q by 2, that's the half of the article. And for the third article, he has spent R by 5, that is again for the third. So the value amount that B has spent is P by 4, Q by 2, and R by 5. So as all they have spent this all the amount, so there will be nothing left with them. So in case of C, it is P by 2 for the first article plus Q by 6 for the second article plus 2 by 5 R for the third article. So now let's try to solve these three equations one after the other, but we need to remember that in any case A plus B plus C will be 120 and P plus Q plus R is again 120. Apart from that, the value A, B, C can carry is 30, 40 or 50. So we need to look for the cases in that case. Now let's talk about let's try to solve these equations. So if I subtract equation 1 from equation 3, so let's say this is equation 3 and this is equation 2. So if I subtract equation 1 from 3 or 3 from 1, so 2 by 5R, 2 by 5R will cancel out, so I'll be left with P by 4 minus Q by 6, and that will be equals to C minus A. That's my first part. Now if I talk about second, if I multiply this B with 2, so equation will turn out to be P by 2 plus Q plus 2R by 5, and that will be similar to C and B. And so I'll do one thing, I'll multiply the second equation with 2 and subtracting it with C, so it turns out to be 5 by 6 of Q equals to 2B minus C. So these two equations we have. Now we can shift the value from Q's value. Let's say so Q will turn out to be 6 by 5 of 2B minus C, and we can replace the value in the equation 1. So from there we'll get P by 4 equals to 5 C minus A plus 2B minus C by 5, or X equals to P equals to by 5 4 by 5 into 4c minus 5a plus 2b. So as P, Q and R cannot be negative, and similarly A, B, C cannot be negative, so the value for A, B, C, that value for A will satisfy to be 40. Now if you fill the value over here, you will come to know about this A, B and C. So A will turn out to be 40, and B can take any way around. B can be 30 also, and B can be 50 also, but we cannot A cannot be 30 or 50. So on solving further, A will come out to be 40, B will be 30 or 50, and similarly C will take any value from 50 or 30. So accordingly we'll fill the values and we'll try to find out the value for P, Q and R. By filling the values, if we are saying, let's say A turns out to be 40, B is 30 and C is 50, PQR turns out to be 16, 84 and 20. See, we are trying with the values over here, and in the next part A equals to 40, B 50 and C 30. The value turns out to be 48, 12 and 60. So these are the two possible cases that we will come across on solving the these equations. So further, now let's talk about the question that we have here. How many did A initially have? A had only rupees 40, but otherwise the value will turn out to be negative if you take other values. Second, how much money did C initially have? So we have two cases over here. So it is A equals to 30 or 50 is possible. So D is the correct answer. In the third case, the cost of Q was. So now we have two costs of Q. One is 84 or 12. So again, the D option would be the answer. And what is the cheapest article? It's again P or R could be the cheapest article. P or Q could be the cheapest article. So it's again the D option, either A or B. So that's the complete set.